Okay, hello everyone, and welcome to a weekly Oscar Talk episode 19, I believe. Or I think, yeah, we're at my age. Wow, it's crazy. So today we are going to be talking about the SAG Winners, which just occurred a few hours ago, and I'm joined by Anthony to talk about it.
Hey everyone.
Getting right into it, we'll also talk about the whole cutting the category stuff a little bit later on, but we're going to start with the SAGs. Um, let's start with best outstanding. Wait, what is it? Outstanding performance by a cast in a motion picture or best ensemble. The winner was Coda. Yeah,
Yes, I think out of those five, it was the worthy choice.
it
And I
was.
did predict it because they usually like to honor an ensemble of diversity or an ensemble that represents a movement or an advance in what a cast can represent. And I think Coda, it's a very worthy nomination. I think it's the movie out of all of these that I think the ensemble works together the most.
Yeah,
Um, and then, yeah, of course, the fact that in Marley Matlin, who I think was the best dressed, we're not going to talk about the fashion. The fashion
I
was pretty
wasn't
good.
able to watch it. I'm gonna watch it on HBO Max tomorrow since I don't
Okay.
have cable.
Um, but yeah, Marley Matlin looked incredible, and she gave the speech, and
Oh,
she talked
nice.
about like these roles don't really come that often. Like it's been a long road for deaf actors, and so I think that was a very worthy win in a ensemble category that was very flawed. Personally, I feel like the
Very.
rest of them,
Yeah.
you know. I guess Belfast. The Belfast one would have been very traditional, but on the strength of Katrina Balfe alone, I would have been like, yeah, okay. Um, I'm interested in what you think because a lot of people take like, because this will be our first televised award show. So I think even more so, we're going to see a lot of people say, what does this mean for Oscar? I think the fact that Coda won two does
There's
show
only
that,
one category. There's one or two categories that I think have. Well, they haven't changed my Oscar predictions because we'll get to it when we get to them. But I was already predicting those two people to win the Oscar. But I think today probably helped
yeah. I
Chastain
mean,
and
I,
Potser the most.
I mean, again, I don't. I have to be. I think we have to be careful of not like taking like, oh my God, they Coda won too. Jumping up the list. But
Yeah.
as
No,
of
it's not going to
this
win Best
point,
Picture or anything.
well, I don't know about that. I would put it as my number two currently. Out of the three feel
Mm,
goods, which is Belfast, King Richard, and Coda, I do think Coda is probably the strongest now to win that. So, um,
I don't know. I would say King Richard's probably still above it. Code is
we'll see.
missing a lot. I mean, it doesn't have editing, it doesn't have directing. It really only has screenplay and then one
It
performance.
has three. It would definitely be a very odd winner, but this is a very odd year.
It is,
Um,
yeah.
so anyway, I'm assuming you were pleased with this
I
one.
was so happy about this. Yes, that's I was going the pessimistic route, thinking they were going to go with Don't Look Up because that's easily the biggest cast, and that's often what they go with. And I also thought because they added a lot of voters into SAG this year who may not be like the most cinephile people, they added a lot of like social media influencers. So I thought that would easily be like the most seen movie of them all, as well. But I'm Coda was the one who I had at number two, and that's what I was rooting for. So I'm very happy it won. I agree with you that it's easily, I think, the best like actual ensemble here. Like they all interact with each other. They all have great chemistry. They all it's just an actual like working ensemble. Besides, I think Belfast is also close to that, but I don't feel like the performances were as strong in Belfast. I also
No,
just
I
like
agree.
this group more. So yeah, this was very good. I don't think I've seen a few people say that they're bumping it up in Best Picture now. I would bump it up, probably because I only had it at like number seven, but I
Oh, wow.
wouldn't. Yeah, I didn't because after nominations, I mean, it was really I think bottom of the list in terms of movies nominated for Best Picture that got like nomination wise. I think it was either that and Drive My Car. I think had the no Drive My Car got four. I think it may have been the movie with the least nominations nominated for Best Picture. So I didn't have a ton
Um,
of faith in it. Nightmare Alley got
Nightmare Alley
four.
has four.
Drive My Car
Uh,
got four.
Licorice Pizza also has three.
Oh, true. Yes. Yes. Yes.
I mean, it should be noted that you know Coda and Licorice Pizza all have above the line, like it's all like
Hmm.
in the screenplay, director, acting, picture. So
Yeah.
those three nominations, I think, and I don't know where else it would have popped up. What we're talking about is then will all the branches support it? But I could see like voting Power of the Dog or Dune, like voting the craft that you are a part of at number one. But if Code is that number two movie that just again sweeps people off their feet and is very charming, I feel like that has the potential to do it. And the other thing with Coda, it's shorter than King Richard, which I think
Yeah.
benefits you because this is a very long year in terms of the run times of these movies. I believe is it under 2 hours? It might
It's definitely under 2 hours. I would say it's probably like an hour 42 minutes is what I would guess.
hour 51.
51.
Hour 51, which Belfast I think is the shortest nominee at hour 38.
Yeah, that was
Um,
short, but it felt
but I
long
do think
still.
that movie, the Katrina Balfe snub, and I know she was snubbed for her co-star, but I feel like that type of like we're not awarding the film, we're awarding the people we know and we're accustomed to seeing makes me think that that film just is safe. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of like momentum to the film with the
No,
Judy
there's no
Dench.
passion for that movie.
Yeah.
It missed
uh,
cinematography. It missed what else? It missed editing. There's
yeah,
not much passion
that's
for it.
I do think that I'm still going to have, and we can talk about this, I still think Power of the Dog is one for now because I'm not ready to
Oh,
call
for
Coda
picture?
for picture.
Yeah,
I'm
I don't
not
think
ready to
anything's.
call Coda the winner, but I do have Coda as my number two because I think Dune missing directing means that that's low down for me. I just don't see it happening for King Richard. I think all of that energy is going to go towards Will Smith, and so
Yeah,
and I think Belfast is fading. I think West Side Story is fading. Again, all that energy will go to Ariana DeBose. So I do think we're now in a two-horse race between Power of the Dog and Coda, and we just have to see: are we in a year where we're going to respond to the indie craft or the feel good?
yeah. I don't think anything's gonna come close to Power of the Dog in terms of winning. I think we do like during the season because Power of the Dog has been at least one of the top two since the season began, which is similar to last year. Nomadland was pretty much number one since the season began. And throughout that season, people are like, could this beat it? Could this beat it? And sometimes we just do that for fun because we don't like stuff being obvious. But I do think this year is another year where it's kind of a little obvious. But I would say Coda is definitely in contention, but not strongly. I don't think anything strongly in contention to beat Power of the Dog.
So
Personally,
should we go to? I don't know if this was a big surprise, but I think we've been waiting to see how this category would shake up. And we now have our answer with Jessica Chastain winning
we do.
Best Female Actor for The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
Did you
This,
watch her speech? Did she give a good speech?
yeah, so it did, a
Yeah,
lot of the speeches were nice. I think Michael
yeah.
Keaton, who won for Dope Sick, gave a very,
Hmm.
very heartfelt performance after being in, I think, in the bathroom, the line for the men's room when his name was read aloud.
Oh, that's
Um,
funny.
but he probably had the most heartfelt speech, and Brian Cox gave a wonderful speech when
For
accepting
the
for
ensemble.
succession. Yeah, so a lot of great. I mean, it was a very mellow night. I felt maybe
Yeah, there's a
because
lot going on in the world.
yeah,
Yeah,
and this whole award season feels very mellow. And yeah, but so Jessica Chastain did give a nice speech. She didn't give a speech that would. She didn't give the type of speech that would make people be like, "Well, I don't want to see that speech again."
hmm,
Um,
not a Renee
now,
Zellweger speech.
when did she give that type of speech?
I didn't like any of her speeches for Judy, but anyway,
But
we
you
can move
won.
past it.
But I'm talking
Yeah,
about like a Ridley Scott speech when he won for The Martian, and it was like, "That's your speech," and then he didn't
yeah,
get a
I
nomination for
forget
the
that.
Academy
Yeah,
Awards. Um, I'm really intrigued because this movie, I was doubtful at first, but then I did see there was a presence that the film was, building momentum back again. Do we really think that she can pull this off now?
absolutely. I ever since I predicted her for, I think we talked about this last week too. Since I predicted her for the SAG, I did the same thing with Troy Kotzer. So like a few weeks ago, I moved them both up to my number at the Oscars because I think those are the two categories with the most contention in terms of who will win. Um, so yeah, she's my number one still at the Oscars because I also think, I don't know, that makeup factor helps so much. You look at so many of these other lead performances that have won recently, like Gary Oldman or what's her name, Renee Zellweger. They also get that accompanying makeup
Yeah.
nomination. So I do think that helps. And I don't know. I do think Nicole Kidman is obviously number two. If anyone else is going to win, I think it's going to be her. I don't think anyone else could really win. Maybe Coleman, but I doubt it. Um, so yeah,
Yeah,
I would go with her right now. I do think momentum is building up for her. We do still have like another month left in the season, so
1 month
I think
exactly.
yeah,
From
yeah,
this.
exactly. That's nice. Long season. But I think Nicole Kidman's momentum started building like a month or two, month and a half ago, probably around, and her
It started building
Chastain's
with the
momentum
Golden
is
Globe, which is kind of ridiculous when you think about it. Like we took
yeah,
the Golden Globes that seriously in a
because it
year
was
that
the only
weren't
thing.
even
Yeah,
live.
I do think her front runner status has been a bit of an overreaction because she just won the Globe and everyone was like, oh, well, and because it's not like Best Actress has been nominated the same five people everywhere either. So she did get in everywhere and she won something. So that does say something, but winning a Golden Globe,
Well, I
I don't know
was
how much
worried because I
that
thought we
says.
were just going to have another Rami Malek season where people love the person and the character. Where like I do think that Rami Malek wins because they love Freddie Mercury, and I was
Yeah,
worried, and I don't know about worried because I think Nicole Kidman was still good in the film, and she's a worthy actor,
yeah.
but I felt like, and this is where because I wanted to pick Chastain. I think on the show I was like, you
You
know,
did pick Chastain, yeah. You were in
well,
between them, and I think you ended up on Chastain,
I
if I
ended up
remember.
on Chastain on the show, but then on my Twitter, before
Oh,
the show, I did pick Kidman
switched.
because my thing with Kidman was just like, I don't know if people, like, if you're choosing between Tammy Faye and Lucille Ball, I feel like there was more love for Lucille Ball, and so people would go there.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But the fact that I think Chastain was able to pull this, I think, is solely on the performance and on her. And
Mhm.
that it has nothing to do with Tammy Faye because I think that some people might not even know who Tammy Faye is before
No,
watching
she's
this.
not like a big celebrity. I don't know who she was before this.
Yeah, so that's why it's not it's not like a Lucille Ball, it's not like a Freddie Mercury. Yet it's still transformative. I do think now makeup, House of Gucci, Goodbye. It's now between that
Yeah.
and Cruella, and probably
Or
leaning
Dune.
Tammy
I think
Faye.
Dune could still win makeup too, maybe.
Maybe. Which that would be crazy. If Isa Tammy Faye won 2 Academy Awards, that would be
Yeah.
like
I liked it, so I wouldn't mind
impressive.
it.
It's a good film. Yeah, I
Yeah.
definitely enjoy it, and better on the second watch. But yeah, I'm very happy for Jessica Chastain. I mean,
Yeah.
she's been working for a long time, and she's won a SAG award before with the Ensemble of the Help, but she's
It's
never
her
won
first solo.
individually.
Yeah.
She got close with Zero Dark 30, but Jennifer Lawrence for Silver Linings Playbook stopped her that year. So if she ends up taking this, I will be completely fine. And I do think
Yeah.
this is a category where the SAG, just because again the SAG, somebody decided something and we were able to see a speech, I do think that does build momentum. I think she needs to work it now to keep the movie
Oh yeah.
in
And
the
she knows
public
how to
eye.
work it, I think.
Yeah. So I think this is a very worthy win, and I think could lead to the Oscar. And I do think it's interesting. We can now go to Best Male Actor.
Yeah.
Um,
Will Smith.
it seems that we're going to have a dual narrative with the overdue actor uh, giving a biopic performance because Will Smith did win here. I think we both predicted him. We expected
Yeah.
that even though this is still a race, I feel between him and Benedict Cumberbatch, he was more likely going to win here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, what do we think about Will Smith?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we kind of saw it coming. I think this was probably one of the easier categories to predict here, just because I don't think Tick Tick Boom was strong enough, and this isn't the kind of committee to give Benedict Cumberbatch the win for that performance. That's more of a BAFTA thing to do, which I think will occur.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
the tricky thing is everything is kind of going the way we're expecting with actors so far. Like Smith, once like, because who knows what the Golden Globes like. SAG Smith is going to win it. I imagine he's going to win the Critics' Choice too, and then I think Benedict is going to win BAFTA. And then what do we do? Then we have nothing after that. What do we
So do
do
we have a
after that?
Glenn Close narrative here where the BAFTA winner takes it? Um, Especially with an over.
Potentially, or like last year with Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, no, same thing. Yeah, it's definitely interesting in terms of how it plays. I do wonder though, because we usually see reactionary um, choices where like the year after Oscar So White, 2 years in a row, we get Moonlight for Best Picture. The year after Green Book, where we get a very sanitized depiction of race, we get Parasite.
Yeah.
And I do wonder that because it was such a big deal that Anthony Hopkins beat Chadwick Boseman, if we are going to have a black actor and a British actor go up against, I wonder if this year Will Smith benefits from the feeling of like this reactionary type of choice. But at the same time,
I
I
don't know
don't
if
know if
voters think
Academy
that
voters
much.
have that like
I think they just vote.
memory.
Yeah. I think most of Academy voters just think of their favorite and vote for it. Like, I think if they thought about the narrative that much, Chadwick Boseman would have won last year. I think you just noticed, oh, Anthony Hopkins was my favorite, so I'm just going to check him off. And that's how he ended up winning.
Which it should be noted, I think this is an interesting statistic, that there has not been a Best Picture winner that didn't star Mahershala Ali that has won an acting award since 12 Years a Slave with Lupita Nyong'o. Every Best Picture winner, save for Mahershala Ali's, have not won. So Birdman didn't win an acting. I mean, Birdman should have won an acting, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
Birdman didn't win an acting award. Spotlight didn't win an acting award. Shape of Water didn't win one. Parasite didn't win one. Oh, Nomadland. Excuse me.
Nomadland. Yeah.
But it's interesting that it doesn't always seem to go hand in hand as it felt like it used to in like the olden days of the Academy. Like sometimes you win an acting award, sometimes you don't. If Coda did win, Troy Kotsur would be the win here. But it doesn't seem like you need, because that's, now let's talk about it. The Power Dog did not win a SAG award tonight.
Kotsur.
I
Are we going to supporting actor?
We can go to supporting actor.
Yeah.
I don't know what that necessarily affects. I know some people will be like, oh, it's soft because it also Lost Daughter won the USC Scripter Prize. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if acting necessarily correlates in the same way. I feel like if Campion was losing director prizes, then I would start to be worried. Yeah. But I don't think she is. And I think, again, we've seen movies win, like Spotlight only won one other award and won Best Picture. So Nomadland only won two other. I think
Power of the Dog is going to win
actors. So you don't need a lot of wins, and I don't think you specifically need acting wins to get. It's kind of like 50-50, I feel. So, acting wins get you Best Picture, or no acting wins, you still can have a path to Best Picture.
Yeah, and I don't think I don't think Power of the Dog probably is going to win an acting Oscar. Its best shot is Benedict Cumberbatch, I would say.
Now, yeah.
Yeah. I've always thought that because Team Kotsur. But yeah, I don't think it, especially here, those are the kind of performances that they would honor anyways. They're all, none of them are. I mean, Benedict's a little showy, but they're more subtle performances, I would say. And
yeah, and as far as
it's going to win plenty of text too, I think.
The SAG awards are, they're not voted on by the industry. They're voted on, by anybody.
Some of the industry.
Some of the industry. There is overlap, and I do think as far as the branches go, they have the biggest overlap.
It's a much larger group too than the Academy.
Yeah, but it's a huge. I think like 100,000. Like something. It's a lot.
It's not very hard to be a SAG member. Yeah.
So that's the point where I'm like, these type of performances that won tonight are more likely to win tonight, where a movie like Power of the Dog and its acting ensemble is more likely to perform at the Oscars. So
yeah.
I again, just to finish this conversation, I don't think the fact that Power of the Dog lost these acting awards means that A, they won't win at the Oscars, and B, that its Best Picture chances are less chance. I still think there's a path forward for some of them, because anything can happen.
I would say only Benedict has a path forward. Maybe if what's his name, Cody Smith-McPhee wins the BAFTA, which he very well could. He could still win, but I feel like Benedict is easily the best shot they have, but it's easily, I think, also going to get director, picture, probably screenplay, probably cinematography, I'd say. Plenty of
I feel more confident in Troy winning than Ariana DeBose winning, but I do think Ariana DeBose winning here does, especially because West Side Story didn't get a single other nomination here tonight, which maybe this is like, if you loved West Side Story, this was the one place to award it, so that could affect it. But at the same time, at this point, I just think that I think people have discovered her, and this type of win means that people are paying attention to her. And that's what I just needed. I was going to predict Kirsten Dunst unless DeBose won this, because if DeBose won the SAG, then it means the community has responded to her and has recognized her. And if that's the case, then she's just the Eddie Redmayne campaign. She's landed, and people have really connected with her. And I also think this Like Marriage Story with Laura Dern's win in this category a couple of years ago, this is where West Side Story will win. And I honestly think this will be the only win. So, and I do think there's a desire to give West Side Story something.
Yeah, and I do think she is easily just the standout of the category. I mean, ever since really we saw the film, most people bumped her up. And ever since the Critic Awards and she started just winning everything, I think it became pretty close to locked that she was going to be our winner.
And Kirsten Dunst isn't in BAFTA either. So yeah, I do think, I mean, I'm scared to say that I think these four might be locked because I just said at the top of the show that we shouldn't, take it that seriously. But
actor, I think it's open. I think Benedict, that's still open. And I think actors.
I want to believe you that it's still open.
I would say the supportings are close. I wouldn't say actors locked either. The only one I would still say is locked is supporting actress, which is I felt that way beforehand. But
you don't think Troy is locked?
No, because I do think there's still a world where Cody Smith-McPhee wins the BAFTA and then wins the Oscar. I do think Troy, out of those four, would be the second most locked. And I would still absolutely be thinking he's going to win. I think he's easily the front runner. But I don't think he's like locked. There's very few locks still, I think. Yeah.
So, yeah. And Troy gave a wonderful speech, by the way. Well, everybody gave a wonderful speech.
How was Will Smith's speech?
It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
It made people laugh, I think. Because he talked about how Serena and Venus didn't sign on to produce or executive produce until they saw the movie. And so it was a nice little bit. No, I mean, Will Smith is charming. I mean, again, he's winning this because he's Will Smith. If you put, another actor in there, I don't know if this performance is winning. He's winning because he's Will Smith. And so, he turns on the Will Smith charm. And it's, again, I'm not opposed to this winning. I would prefer anybody else in the category. But,
even Javier Bardem?
Yeah, I mean, it's close, but I liked Javier Bardem with his, banging the bongos. It was fun. I liked it. I like Being Ricardo's more than you, though not by much. But yeah, again, Will Smith, he's a beloved figure, and I do think people want to honor him. And I do think, I think it makes the movie worse, but I do think the movie makes him look so good that, again, it makes sense. Where Power of the Dog, it's,
he's a more likable character too than
exactly.
Bill in Power
He's
of the
more
Dog.
likable. Power of the Dog is a very conflicted character, and people may not respond to that in the masses the same way. I mean, very rarely do we get those type of winners, I feel. Like, when's the last time that...
Unless you're a Joker. It's pretty rare.
Yeah, but even then, the Joker is, it's kind of the reverse, because Power of the Dog, he starts as the villain and you grow more sympathetic to him, and he doesn't go the full turn. Where Joaquin Phoenix, you feel bad for him at the beginning and you're sympathetic to his plight, and then he, turns into the Joker. So I feel like Benedict Cumberbatch, though it may be a better performance in terms of the craft of the acting, I do think it's a harder performance to maybe love among the masses. Where King Richard, it's Will Smith and he has jokes and he has some drama bits, and it's your standard type of nominated performance. I mean, I think it's clear. I think this movie was made to engineer an Oscar win for Will Smith. So the fact that he's pulling wins like this tonight at the SAG makes sense, because that's kind of what the movie's main goal was. It's kind of like the good Dear Evan Hansen, in terms of that movie was only made to try and get
gross.
at an Oscar.
I guess, yeah. I don't even, that movie, I erased that from my memory, so I don't like it returning.
I wish I could.
That will be contending at the Razzies this year, as we all expected. I think Will Smith is the current frontrunner. And I believe no actor who's ever gone full frontal has ever won an Oscar. I remember seeing that statistic, so that doesn't help Benedict Cumberbatch either. They don't like when you do that, I guess.
They don't like full frontal, then Euphoria would never win an Oscar.
No, they would not. Well, it can anyways, but it'll win the Emmys. The Emmys appreciate it.
Oh God, please no.
So I think we really, covered both of the supporting there, right?
Fun to Know Time to Die, expected. Very nice win for that.
They never go with the one that's nominated for Best Picture. I don't know why everyone was so confident in Dune. If you look at the past winners, they never go. There's one that's closest to like the best picture status, and they never pick it. So I don't know why people always go with it.
Yeah,
But
no. But I'm happy. It's the best stunts, and stunts should be a category. The casting
yeah,
director should win along with their ensembles, and there should be an ensemble category at the Oscars.
did they get to give a speech for stunt ensemble? Oh no, that happened before.
I mean, honestly, I would like the same way that like the producers give the speech for Best Picture, and the Best Picture award goes to the producers. I understand that, but like, if I don't know, I feel like casting directors should go up with the ensemble, and I get it. It's like you're awarding the performances, and they didn't have anything to do with that necessarily in terms of the choices the actors made.
They cast them.
But they cast them. I think casting directors are underappreciated in the industry. I mean, every other part of the process, I feel there is some sort of award or conglomerate award, like sound. So like, yeah, I think, I mean, casting with or without an ensemble, Oscar, and then stunts, I think are 2 or 3 categories that do need to be added, because I think there are worthy nominees every year too. Like, I mean, this year especially, like I feel like you could nominate the casting director for, let's say, The Power of the Dog, West Side Story.
I would say Coda.
Coda, yeah, definitely. There's a lot of Licorice Pizza. You could do that. I think that was a really fun.
Yeah.
But again, there's so many people. I'm sure many people would share their own. Comment below if you'd like.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think we need to add a
couple more. And don't cut them out of the ceremony, which we'll get to in 1 second. Anything on the TV side you want to shout out? A few surprises there, but I think overall most went as expected.
I mean, the comedy categories made the night for me. Gene Smart, Jason Sudeikis, and Ted Lasso.
Good speeches.
Those 3 categories got me through the whole night. I was very happy. It was really the Ted Lasso ensemble was having a fun time. They weren't there, but they were on a
virtual.
I think because they're filming season 3 right now. But Juno Temple was there, surprisingly. She was there in person.
Maybe that means her character dies. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, Keely died kind of and it was done. Or she's like Bran, and she's not in the season at all, like he was in season 5. Of Game of Thrones, I should be clear.
Yeah.
In case you forgot that show.
I think everyone knows who Bran is. The man who disappears for a season.
Yeah.
Then gets the throne.
Yeah, Squid Game took 2 individual acting awards. That was pretty surprising.
I think that's vote splitting.
Yeah.
At least an actor. I think having 3, that's a lot. I don't think there was one that was specifically stronger than the other 2. Like I said, Jeremy Strong was gonna win, but I mean Brian Cox and Kieran Culkin were just as good in that season.
They're great. The whole ensemble is great, which is why it won ensemble and deservedly so.
Actress was a little more surprising. I thought Sarah Snook had that because she had no competition, but I'm happy for Ho Young-jun, who was really good.
But it's the third year in a row that Korean actors have won at the SAG, after Parasite winning ensemble and Yoo Jin-yoon winning for Minari last year. So it seems like, it's a really, wonderful. Again, it's like I look at this show and I'm like, the fact that we have Korean talent in a Korean show winning, like up against Jennifer Aniston and like Brian Cox, and the fact that we have a Sundance movie that made its way a year later to the SAG Ensemble stage, like that's pretty remarkable. And this, I don't think, I mean, whether you like the shows and films or not, it's just pretty cool and exciting that happened.
Okay. Yeah, it is really cool. I agree. Yeah, that's really it for that. Good day for Apple TV Plus, who did good in TV and film.
Yes.
So yeah. That's the SAG. Nothing too crazy. I went 5 out of 6. I'm pretty proud of that. I should have switched to Coda, then I would have gotten 100%.
Oh wait, yeah, you're right. Apple TV Plus with the 2 Ted Lasso wins and the 2 Coda wins. That's a really, like, good for them. Wow. That would be, okay. It would. So first off, can we talk about the fact that, personally, I feel that 2 streamers now are in the top contention for Best Picture.
Netflix and Coda, or Apple TV.
And Coda was actually able to do this, and Apple TV Plus won before Netflix. That would be
That would be,
insane. That'd
yeah.
be, yeah, just like how Hulu took Best Drama before Netflix did with The Handmaid's Tale.
Poor Netflix.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's as much streaming bias. I think we've seen that in the past 2 years. I think the pandemic really helped that. There's not really like, oh, you're a Netflix movie. I don't think you're as worthy. So
Yeah. I mean, this will be the year, man. If
yeah.
Belfast comes out of nowhere, because King Richard
Oh
had
God, yeah.
released on HBO Max. So
Yeah.
if Belfast won this thing, that would be just
That
crazy.
would be something.
That would be something. Then I think we would have to admit, yeah, there's a streaming bias.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Speaking of stuff winning and the Oscar ceremony, there will be 8 winners at this ceremony who are not really going to get their full due. As we learned, I believe the day after we recorded last week, so we just missed it. The Academy sent out a little letter to their fellow members, and they said 8 categories. Let me pull them up. I forget what they are. The 3 shorts, editing,
score, production design, maybe costume design and makeup. Are those
I know one of costume design and makeup is still happening. So
okay.
Let me just
while
I look that up, you get into your thoughts on this.
Oh my God, it's just why? I'm waiting for them to turn this back around like they did in 2019 when they were like, we're cutting the categories and we're going to present them during the commercials. Nope, psych. You know, sure. I'm waiting for that, especially because if like people are starting to rumor like they're going to boycott, like, I mean, are you really going to stay true to this? Because this is the thing. And we just have to accept
you're ready.
The ratings are not going to be good. They're just not. And until
I think they are.
You think they will be?
Well, I think the ratings this year are going to be better than last year's because last year's was just low. I think it's very easy to improve from that. And I think they're going to take the wrong message from that. They're going to be like, oh, so the ratings are better. If they stick with this, we cut this stuff out. And yeah, that helped the rate. I mean, if you tell someone.
They're still not going to be where they want them to be and where they think
they're never going to reach that again.
No.
They're never going to reach their heights again. And they need to just accept that before they. I mean, right now what they're doing is turning off the few people who still watch the show. They're making them not even want to watch it. So that's not a good approach. But the 8 categories that they did were documentary short, film editing, makeup and hairstyling, original score, production design, animated short, live action short, and sound.
Okay, costume design is it.
Design.
And then somebody mentioned, that the whole, like, you want popular movies in there. Dune is your biggest blockbuster.
These are like all Dune.
That is the one that is going to win most of these categories. So, yeah. But then that not only is like, well, what's the point then? If you want your big movies to win, this is your big movie and it's going to win these. But then also it's doing what they did last year, which is they're predicting that Dune will take a lot of these. Like they predicted that Chadwick was going to win, and then he doesn't. So like, I don't like that they make decisions based on like predicting what they think will win these awards. Because I do think they want to save time and they think Dune is going to win a lot of these and they'll just be like, all right, we're going to speed through.
I don't even know if that's I want to know what their reasoning is behind this. I'm not sure if it's Dune. I'm not sure where they decided that film editing needs to be cut, but costume design needs to remain.
Because costume design is going to Cruella and not to Dune.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, Dune is the most at least theatrically seen movie of all of your Best Picture nominees. If you want to help ratings, why would you cut all the categories where it's going to win?
And look at the one category that should be in this group, hypothetically, and isn't. Visual effects. Why? Because it's the one category where Marvel movies are in the category. So, like, even I, huge Marvel fan, can see just it's just so like transparent what they're doing here, and it's petty, and it's just, I don't get it. I don't understand where, like, it's desperate. I don't know what audience they think they're trying to attract, and they're devaluing. It
doesn't attract anyone. Like if you tell someone, they're like presenting, film editing, makeup, production design in the shorts and all these other categories before, and then they're going to snip the little like winners and speeches in the middle of the ceremony, but the ceremony is still going to be 3 hours. Who's going to be like,
Exactly.
oh, that makes me really want to watch this year? No one's going to be like, it's just such a stupid decision. They're
And again,
replacing these people's like speeches and time in the spotlight for what I think the actual letter said, more comedic moments and like stuff to bring energy to the actual show.
yeah.
It's just so idiotic.
Yeah, which like, you know what brings energy, is the win. Seeing them win and give a speech in the moment. What is the point of watching if it's live to tape? And they've announced that they're going to announce the
Live tweet.
winners
Yeah.
live tweet. What's the point? This is what I think in the end is the worst part of this, is that it's sending the message that certain crafts are more important than the others. And those crafts are the ones with the big names.
The stars.
Sorry, Hans Zimmer, you're not a big enough name, I guess.
Which is crazy. This
Yeah.
is going to be his second Oscar. I mean,
Well, yeah, but it's the second year in a row where we're saying that the individual is more important than the group.
yeah.
With the Best Picture hullabaloo last year by.
And did you see at the end of the letter they were like, and Best Picture will be presented last, as it always should be, and it's like, the same person writing this letter is the one who messed it up last year, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand why they continue to do this and why they continue to piss off the audience that is loyal. Like the Oscars, maybe they don't have the same audience that they used to have, but the audience they do have is loyal and they want to support them and they want to watch and they will be there every year. And yeah, it's not the Super Bowl. We don't need to make it a Super Bowl.
Nothing's going to be the Super Bowl.
Unless you're actually going to put fans and you're going to sell tickets for fans to go. You're never going to make it.
Still not going to be the Super Bowl, but it might be closer.
Yeah. I like that was the one thing I was like, can they sell tickets so like fans can go and maybe like there's a different energy in the room than just everybody in the industry? But even then, it wouldn't affect the thing. Releasing the new trailer for the new blockbuster, it won't affect the thing because we're in a digital world now. The Oscars need to go on Disney Plus. They need to go on a streamer, and they need that. Yeah, because imagine like look at if the Oscars were on Disney Plus. And then the Nielsen ratings came out and said the Oscars were the most watched thing this weekend. There's your good headline. I don't understand why this is so hard. Stop. Like it's like they know that things need to change, but they're clinging to the past instead of going to the future. And if they're clinging to the future, they're finding the wrong things, like the Twitter categories we talked about last week. So yeah, it's so idiotic.
That's what they're making time for also. By cutting these people out, they're making more time for their cheer moment and their fan favorite, which I believe they revealed what the top 5 cheer moments are, which also
like,
I don't know how the Dreamgirls scene got in there. That's like an obvious like plant. I don't think that's actually in the top 5.
But like it's so odd. Like isn't it supposed to be this year? Is this going to be like a running thing where every year it's just anything in film? Like
I do think it was always supposed to be your favorite moment in film in general, which is odd when you're celebrating one individual year. It should have been individual moments. So I think there was an Endgame moment. I think the original Matrix had a moment too.
Yeah,
and there was the Spider-Man.
Avengers Assemble, Neo dodging the bullets, and I'm telling you, I'm not going from Dreamgirls. The Speed Force moment from Zack Snyder's Justice League, which can we just acknowledge the fact that the Snyder Cut
good for that
got acknowledged by the Oscars, and then the No Way Home Spidey's team up. Yeah, it just seems odd. It makes me think that maybe this is a 1 year and done thing because what are they going to keep doing like favorite moment from all of film every year? Yeah, it's ridiculous because they're still going to play off the people that they do present. You're still going to have music play off Will Smith if he wins. Mm-hmm. You're still going to have music play off Jane Campion. And it's like, if you're going to play off the people we do see, and you're not even showing the people that we want to see, it's like, well, I just don't. It fathoms the mind, the choices they are making. The fact that so many people not only choose this, but then like that they feel proud of it, that they'll go out into the world and say, this is our plan.
Yeah. I mean, instead of this cheer moment or fan favorite, I'd rather have them like invite some of the like nominees before the ceremony and like record a few things, like asking, I don't know, Nicole Kidman or Kristen Stewart or Will Smith, what was your favorite movie this year? Why? Or what's your favorite of the like Best Picture nominees, or like so-and-so, what was your favorite scene, and play that. I feel like that would be much more interesting than like what the audience votes for, like pretty much an MTV Movie Award.
Well, and the other thing too is like I just think that what the audiences want in them like is completely different. My big Oscar wish list is somebody recreating the Nicole Kidman AMC ad. General audiences don't know what that ad is. They're not going to get
I think
that
they
joke.
probably do. I mean, they see it every time they go to AMC.
If they only went once to see No Way Home, and it was a 50-50 chance whether they actually went to an AMC theater, they could have gone to a Regal or a Cinemark.
They could have.
I don't know if that joke lands the same way it'll land for us. And so that's the thing of like that's the type of humor we want from the Oscars. They're trying to just bland it out. They're trying to make it accessible to everybody, no matter what movies you saw. And I just don't think it's a cause worth dying on. I just think they should honor the movies that they have honored, be proud of what their Academy has chosen, and just do that. And then let's hope, I cannot believe this. I've already seen people be like, how many Oscars is the Batman going to win and be nominated for? I'm like, oh my God, can we really?
Let's not get there quite yet.
It's just, I can't do this.
I do think it will be
just
worthy.
do the Oscars.
Yeah. Batman is next week, so maybe we'll talk about it then.
Maybe.
Yeah. I think the only other thing, really, do you have anything else on that, or really just Academy change it? I believe the year where they announced this previously for the 2019 ceremony, they announced it in August, so they had a lot more time for there to be backlash.
They announced Best Popular Film in August. They announced this within this period.
They did?
They announced we are presenting during the commercials during the interim, I think between nominations and win. But they announced Best Popular Film in August because that was right before award season started when people were still, Black Panther. I think Black Klansman had just come out. So we finally gotten our first Best Picture contender that wasn't Black Panther. And people were like, uh-oh. So, I mean, I'm still hoping for a change. I mean, Oscars, for the love of God.
It's not that, I think they probably should have heard the response to it, and pretty much no one is positive about it. And I think they should take that to heart.
I saw more people upset. Like I saw people like threatening to take their membership away from the Academy. So I'm hoping,
probably should.
For the love of God, present the awards. If not, I would love if can we have a couple people like Beyonce bring up Taylor Swift and bring up the people who won?
Yeah.
So they can get their moments. Like, I don't want to say like Will Smith, give up your moment, but like at this point, like can Hans Zimmer just come up with you and stand beside you?
He should. I mean, that's the thing. They're going to edit it in, but I've also read that they're like editing the actual speeches too, which is stupid. And also there's just the fun thing of like, you don't know who's going to win. I mean, going into it, you're now going to know through a tweet of all things, which also doesn't help for reactions, people.
And I just want to say too, that
I like seeing their reactions to when they win too. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a big deal. I do want to say the Tony Awards do this. And they do it with certain categories where they'll come back from commercial and they'll present like a little 5-second thing of the speech and they'll say who won. I think it's different because
do they have more categories?
They have 26 categories, so they have a couple, I think 3 more. You used to have 2 more because of course sound used to be 2. But I think the main reason why I'm okay with the Tonys is because there's not the padding. There's no fluff. They don't do like the Glenn Close debut moments. It's solely focused on and even if they do, like, I just think they're better because I think they're a more theatrical group. It's different. And the other thing too is that they allow all of the musicals to do numbers, and so you get to see the costume work and you get to see all of this thing. So I feel, and I do think I do think the Oscars, I do hold them to a little higher standard because they are the film, and I don't know, when I thought about this I'm like, well, the Tonys do it and I've never had an issue with that, but for some reason I feel like the Oscars, I think because the intention, it's where does the intention fall? I don't think the Tonys are doing that because they devalue those awards. I think the Oscars are doing it because they are saying that certain awards matter more than others, and they want to. it's their intentions. It's what their goals are with this, and I think it's more callous on behalf of the Oscars.
And it's blatantly for ratings. I mean, they didn't even really try to hide it in that letter. And this
Yeah.
isn't going to help ratings in the slightest. I mean, it's just stupid all around.
Yeah.
So yeah, tragic. Hopefully they change it in time. I mean, if they go through with this, it's just each year they keep doing this stuff. It just devalues and devalues the award just more and more and more, and it's just sad.
I saw something where apparently one year they like for these type of categories, the people accepted them in the aisle, and they didn't even
Oh
get
yes,
to go on the stage.
for the shorts, I think.
What is happening? Like, I don't, Oscars, all you have to do, go on stage, joke, haha, and the award goes to, bring them on stage, and that's it. This doesn't need to be like start big and then maybe have a little thing in the middle. Like Tina Fey and Amy Poehler were great because their jokes and monologues at the Golden Globe were so strong that you really didn't need anything else. I think we should be trying to capture the energy of the Golden Globes when Tina and Amy hosted. Granted, it's a different type of mood and atmosphere for the Golden Globes and Oscars, but I do think that, like, you look at 2018, the 2019 ceremony. We started with that Queen concert for Bohemian Rhapsody, and then Tina Fey, Amy Poehler, and Maya Rudolph came out. And honestly, that was all we needed. You know, sure, throw in Brian Tyree Henry and Melissa McCarthy doing a little.
That was a nice bit, yeah.
You know, but that's all we need. We don't need these huge changes that are only going to take away from what the purpose of the evening is in the first place.
Yeah, true. Agreed.
I'm sorry, I got very passionate about this, and I was not expecting.
Me too. It's a big deal. These people deserve their moment. You only really get one moment for most people. So, yeah. And last big thing here, not even that big. The Lost Daughter won the USC Scripter Award over The Power of the Dog. So now some people are thinking that I think it's a valid prediction that Lost Daughter could maybe upset Power of the Dog in screenplay.
It could father this. Like how the father was just, you know, in the last stretch was like, oh, let's give it to the father.
Yeah, I would say it's either Lost Daughter. I could also see maybe Drive My Car doing that, but I would still stick with Power of the Dog.
I think Dune and whatever the other one is.
Coda,
yeah, they don't have a chance. I do think it's interesting. If we have another The Father scenario where we have a script win and then Olivia Colman takes acting, I just think that would be hilarious.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah, that's true. The Father was a bigger contender overall too, because Lost Daughter is not in picture and Drive My Car is really
none of those movies are in picture and actress, though. It should be noted.
No, but the other ones have Power of the Dog has acting and picture.
No, I'm just saying in terms of, like, if it was able to do screenplay and actress, I feel like, you know, because Isa Tammy Faye has the same, you know, let's say if Lost Daughter won adapted screenplay and actress, and then Isa Tammy Faye could win actress and makeup, like, I think it's trying to get 2 for each, and I do think it's possible to get 2 or 1 or 0.
I think as we've seen in past award seasons, this year is probably going to be a very democratic year where pretty much almost all of the Best Picture nominees win something. I think most of them are going to win something. I think some. I'm not sure what Licorice Pizza is not going to win anything. I think that might be it.
I don't think Licorice Pizza is going to win anything. I don't think Don't Look Up is winning anything, and I don't think
Nightmare
Alley is winning anything. And I don't think.
I do think Nightmare Alley could win production design. I do think it could win that.
So I think that I still have Dune for that, but it's not, you know, it's not a closed shut race.
Yeah.
Then
I think everything else would win something.
Yeah. Belfast and Licorice Pizza are still in a race for.
I don't know. I just feel like that's clearly Belfast.
Yeah, I know. Like, I kind of have to resign to that fact. I feel like a lot of these awards, I'm kind of resigning myself to the winners.
Yeah.
But then Power of the Dog definitely has a director. Dune definitely will sweep Tex. West Side Story has supporting actress now.
Coda's got supporting actor.
Coda's got supporting actor. Is that all of them? Did we say all of them?
King Richard's got Smith.
Got actor now. So that's interesting that, like, that a lot of those Best Picture nominees are going to get one nomination, one win potentially, and that those being acting. Like it's going to be
Yeah.
like they're standing on their own, which you're right, is very democratic, very spread out.
Yeah, Drive My Car will get international.
Yeah. Though if it won the adapted screenplay, that would be incredible.
Yeah, that would be.
That'd
I'm
be
sure. I still haven't seen it. I'm gonna watch it on HBO Max soon as well. HBO Max is just my hub for everything, I guess.
It's my number 3 of the year, I think. Power of the Dog's my 1,
wow.
and Worst Person in the World is my 2. So
good year for foreign films.
Yes. It was a good year for movies. Maybe not the movies up for Best Picture, but it was a good year for movies.
Yeah, agreed. So yeah, that's pretty much it this week. Anything else award season wise in this past week you have to talk about, or is that?
Nope. We'll see. Is the Batman a contender? We'll find out.
Oh God, I hope so. That would be fun. True revenge for The Dark Knight not getting in. That's what caused the whole 10 Best Picture thing. So.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Mad Max and Black Panther. Joker was the.
It is a very early release for the Batman, so that doesn't help.
Yeah, true, but again, we'll see. It's 2.5 hours. It's 2 hours and 55 minutes, and the Oscars sure love their long movies.
They do.
We'll
Drive My Car.
Yeah, I do think that, and I think this will make a lot of people, including myself, really love the film. But I do think that Matt Reeves' main goal is to pay homage to the comics in ways that we haven't seen a director maybe do with Batman before to this degree. And I don't know if that translates into critical love. But we could see, I think.
We'll get some text, I'm sure. Maybe score, makeup, definitely.
The makeup, definitely. I do think that, again, separating the divisive fan reaction to this movie, I see this kind of going the path of maybe The Last Jedi, where you have a filmmaker who's passionate about the film, and maybe the critics really respond to the passion that they see Reeves having, and that he's able to create a film like this. So we'll see.
I do think it will probably be the most artistic blockbuster of the year, is what I would say.
Listen.
Maybe Avatar 2.
It's had a lot of set problems and behind the scenes issues, and we don't know much about it, but coming in an award season release date, Black Panther 2 could get nominated.
I don't know.
I don't know.
They don't like there's not many sequels that get into Best Picture.
Yeah, but there's not many superhero movies too. Like Black Panther is one of the movies that got in through the door, and if the movie does well because it honors Chadwick Boseman's iconic portrayal, and again, if it's a great movie, which Ryan Coogler hasn't made a bad movie yet, I just think that I would, the same way that Joker came out later and I think cut the legs off of Endgame's chances, I do think Black Panther Wakanda Forever coming out in November, I would put more money. If I have to pick one movie, a superhero movie that's going to get Oscar attention, I think it's going to be Black Panther Wakanda Forever.
I would say the Batman, but I would say probably Avatar 2 would probably cut both of their legs off.
Oh, God. Please, no. If the movie comes out,
I think that's
I will not believe
a much more likely sequel.
Until I see it in the theater.
Yeah,
that's it. Craft-wise, again, what we've seen, like he's shooting underwater.
Just never doubt James Cameron,
I guess. Listen, the last 2 movies he made got nominated for Best Picture. They just happened to be Titanic and Avatar.
Became the highest grossing films of all time.
Yes. We'll see. Listen,
He's got a high bar for himself this time around,
And I think what could help him, unless he does a remake of Pocahontas 2, Journey to the New World, I'm hoping the story is better. I think it has to be this time. And
should be.
Yeah. So we'll see. You might be right. I do think those are the 3, though. I don't see any other blockbuster being in contention. As far as getting mass appeal, I don't see Avatar 2 as a best. Well, again, we'll have to see.
With 10 spots. Yeah. I don't know. They'll probably be
with 10
the most
spots.
techs of those 3.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So
no.
We'll have plenty of time to discuss the 2023 season, though.
Yes, this is. I know. We're already.
That's how you know. That's how you know the winners are becoming more locked in. We're getting bored. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So stay tuned for the rest of this boring season. No, it's not boring. I think it's actually pretty fun.
No, it's like season. Now we're in. We have some televised speeches. We have some televised wins. I think now we're going to see it start to grow. Let's see who campaigns. Let's see what happens in response to this. I think we have a race now, and we have winners, which is exciting.
It's competitive. I like competitive. I don't like situations like the 2020 acting stuff where it's just four people locked forever.
Or
So
2018 when it was Francis
yeah,
McDormand, Sam Rockwell, Gary Oldman, and Alison Janney, who were all great. I mean,
yeah,
the thing is like,
that was
the
pretty
people are
rough
good
too.
and that's why they win. But we'll see. I don't think that's going to happen because I think BAFTA will differ, and that's the only other major award.
BAFTA
Except,
has to differ, yeah, in most
yeah,
categories. They nominate different people.
Yeah.
He did. He did
Um,
get nominated. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna win
but
though.
DeBose, I don't think.
I do believe DeBose got nominated too.
Okay, but I don't. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Actress is 0 for 6 though, so that's
Yeah.
not going to be helpful.
Lady Gaga. No, that's where Renata
I
Reinstein is
hope
going to
so.
win.
That's
And
what I
that
would
will
think.
make my whole season.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice indeed. So yeah, stay tuned for the BAFTAs and then the eventual Oscars and then Batman and then 2023 Oscars, all that stuff. So yeah, like the
Where can
video,
they find you,
subscribe.
Jack?
Oh yeah, you can find me at Oscar Film FC on Twitter. How about you?
At Anthony_post on Twitter and Instagram and Letterboxd. And I just started my new
Oh
YouTube
yes,
channel today.
plugging.
Yes, spoilers ahead with Anthony Post. Plan to do reviews. I'm going to put a Batman review up there. I have a WandaVision video essay there. So yeah, I plan to do stuff like this. I will keep the awards conversation on Oscar Film Forecast though.
Let it flow everywhere.
Let it flow up there. I think I'll
More
do my
awards,
own
better.
personal Oscar picks over there. So
Yeah.
be on the lookout for that. But yeah, come follow, come subscribe. I'd love to have you.
Yeah, I will put a link in the description. So yeah, thank you
Thanks,
for
man.
watching and see you all next week.